signing the band and then 2 days later releasing the band. This has got to be one of the funniest shits that ever happened ever. Welcome to another episode from Takedowns to Breakdowns with A&P, and today we're here to talk about in and out. No, I'm not talking about just the tip. I'm not talking about soft porn, and I'm definitely not talking about the burger place.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
We're here to talk about Vektor. I don't know if you guys have heard of this story, but this is insane. I don't think this has ever happened in the world of metal.
This is as insane as the Clown Posse.
Even worse. I think this is beyond.
It's insane in the membrane is what this is.
True words right there. So Century Media announced that they had signed Vektor. 2 days later, they announced that they had released Vektor. I didn't get the announcement of the signing, but I did get the announcement of the release, and that's how I found out about the story.
I feel like a lot of people did.
It was on Instagram.
Yeah.
I was on Instagram. It's like, we announcing that we're, as of this moment, we're letting Vektor go from our roster. And the post didn't allow you to comment. Like, you had the comments removed.
Yeah.
I was like, what happened? First of all, I didn't even know they had signed.
Signed Vektor.
Yeah, I didn't know that. And then I was like, what did they do that was so bad
to get released?
And
it's not what they did in the time period of 2 days. It's what Century Media didn't
know. Yeah, didn't know about what they... Well, I shouldn't say they, because it wasn't the whole band. It's just the front man.
It was just the front man.
That did it.
So we were having... This is what this video is about. We were having this conversation.
But hold on. Before that, let me just say this. Once I saw that post, I did what Century Media didn't do, which is my own research on Google. So I went on Google and I'm like, Vektor, what has happened? Something along those lines.
And it did not take far. It did not take long.
No, it was like the first thing that came up was, frontman from Vektor allegedly or whatever raped his wife. And I'm like, what the fuck?
No.
Like, what the fuck?
Now I can say this is what this video is about, because we were having this conversation and we thought it'd be perfect for a video where, like, how the fuck does this go underneath your radar? Like, don't you have to...
I don't think it did, though. I think they probably knew about it.
There's a conspiracy theory about this.
I think that they knew. How do you not... Okay, it's one thing for me not to know, but it's another thing for a label who's signing a band not to know.
Yeah, exactly. It took 5 seconds of research to find out what the problem was. And it also baffles me because any job anywhere, there's always a background check.
Of some sorts.
And you would think a label would have a background check section of their office.
Depending on what the job is, it could actually be like a really serious criminal background check, like with the police and everything, to see if you have a record and whatever.
Exactly. So, like, all you have to do is like 5 seconds of Google of what did Vektor do wrong. And it's not the band, it's the lead singer. And
yeah, but it could even be the bassist is irrelevant to who the person is.
It's
but
still there's still
an active member of the band who's done this, right? So the part that boggles the brain is that I think if I was running a label, regardless of what the size of the label was, before signing any band, I'm doing a thorough search of everything that these guys have ever been involved in.
In this case, thorough was not the word you needed.
No, you only needed one click. It was one click away. Because you never know. Like, the band could be involved in, like, Nazi shit,
you never
whatever.
know.
There could be rape allegations. There could be,
obviously
murdering somebody. I don't know. Like, it could be a multitude of things.
Exactly. A lot of stuff could be in the past and with members who are no longer part of the band.
Oh, that's a different story.
So you need to, but you still need to find that stuff out. I think
you need to be prepared at the very least. Be prepared for whatever comes your way.
Exactly. And I think as any job, especially a label, you should at least have a group of people to go in depth in the history of a band before you sign them, because you want to know every nook and cranny of this band. No matter how big or how long the band's been around, you need to know every nook and cranny of this band in controversy-wise or what the band was in the past, just so you have either a good idea of if something comes up for signing the band, you have a response.
Yeah, you have already your PR is ready.
You have everything ready. That is something that should be done normally. That is not something that should be looked over. So the fact is, the band being signed at all without having this 3 seconds of you didn't have to go that in-depth into the band to not...
No, not at all.
Dude.
I told you, Google.
Google.
One search.
This is the one time that doing your own research actually pays
off. Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't know how to
I think this puts two things in question here. One, did they know and think that, this is in the past, whatever,
Conspiracy theory time.
Nobody's gonna pay attention to this. We're gonna sign them, release an album, and
people
let bygones be bygones. But then people paid attention. They created like a shitstorm online, and then the pressure was such that the label was forced to kind of do the right thing and cut them out. And then this takes me to the second point. Should they receive any praise for cutting the band out when they end up signing them to begin with? I don't think so.
I think praise is not some. I feel like
they just corrected a wrong.
They corrected a wrong. So praise is nothing that the label should get.
I don't think they're looking for it.
And I don't think they're looking for it. I think what it was just a really bad day.
In the office?
In the office.
Well, it was worse for Vektor. I think
I think it's bad for both. Because it really shows...
No, Vektor, I think it's worse for Vektor because obviously, here you are on a major label and now you're dropped from a major label.
Exactly.
I mean, what...
There's nowhere to go
The actions that led to that consequence were already there.
Yeah.
Their name is already tainted one way or another.
Exactly. It was just put in... Their band has been put in the limelight and now...
For all the wrong reasons.
Again. So now the band is the band, but they're not. I don't think they're going to get assigned to any major or even label.
No, but
at this point,
I think if anything, I hate to say this because I don't think you can get any worse. But I think this actually got worse for them because people like me who didn't know now I know, right?
So now they know not to listen to the band.
So now I'm like, am I really going to support these guys? Not really. I think I'm going to move on. There's other bands out there
because that stuff happened, yet they were still able to somehow get themselves a meeting with a record label to get them on the label. So now this just doubles them down. They took one step forward and now they're taking fucking Spartans kick down. Now that your band is back in the headlines for all the wrong reasons, you're not going to get back up there. You're just going to get more people knowing about why your band is not on that label and what happened with your band. So yes, it's a bad thing for the band. And it's kind of a weird thing for the label. You guys should have gone in depth into this band. And
any band
that you sign should always have a thorough not even thorough, because it's a band. Just a background check. It doesn't take much to find the
skeletons in
the skeletons in the closet. Especially when it comes to metal music, it does not take that long to see the skeletons. So all it takes is one Google search, and you're perfect.
Once again, this is all assuming that they didn't do that. This is
okay, but
I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt.
I want to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Because I didn't know. I didn't. So if I worked for the label, I could have been the douchebag signing them, not knowing. So
exactly. But if they did know, this is just them taking a chance. Should they be praised for cutting them? No, they shouldn't. Should they be hated for even signing them?
No, because I'm with you on that.
I think they're just in a place where they can't. There's no hate, and it's I don't know how to say it. They're in the middle. There's no hate to be given.
A right try to fix the wrong.
Exactly. They fixed the wrong that they did. So in a way, they did.
One thing I'll say. It took them a lot less time to cut these guys than it did to cut Ice Earth and Demons and Wizards. Just putting it out there. That one took a little bit longer, which then brings another. I mean, the crimes are completely different.
Yeah,
the crimes are completely different. Really I'm not comparing the crimes, but at the end of the day, a crime is a crime. You know what I mean? You can argue the severity of said crime, but a criminal is a criminal at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I just want to put that out there. Had Vektor been a bigger band with more pull that brings bigger bucks, would this have been such a quick and clear-cut choice?
I think they would have. I feel like a label with if Vektor were a bigger band, they probably would have tried to put out a press release saying on behalf of the band, maybe trying to fix whatever controversy is happening, or they'd go the way of the whole Iced Earth thing, where it takes more than just 2 days for them to be have that meeting where it's do we get them off the label? They bring us so much money, do we kick them off the label for this reason? And then they take a shitstorm of hate to finally kick them off. So yes, I do think that if they were a bigger band, this would take a lot longer, and probably in the end, they probably wouldn't have been taken off the label.
I don't know about that, man.
You never know how it's going to play out. A bigger band has a bigger pull. So they would probably try really hard to keep this band on the label.
Yeah.
You never want to... No label wants to lose one of their biggest, money makers.
but give credit where credit is due. Century Media did cut ties.
They did. And
when that time came. So, and like I said, the two crimes are completely different. The two situations are completely different.
But
I felt
they also cut... Yeah, yes.
But I felt like they did what they had to do. I don't know if there was peer pressure or public pressure or whatever.
What I also do think is if this happened and they were a bigger band, I think they would cut. Maybe they would.
I think maybe it would have taken more than 2 days.
It would have taken more than definitely, but they would cut. Because they cut 2 bands, Demons, Wizards, Icers, they cut 2 bands, right? This is just one. So if they're able to cut those 2...
And I'm sure those 2 would bring a lot more revenue than these guys would.
Exactly. But even if these guys were at the same level as Iced Earth, they cut 2. They cut 2. So they were able to see that, money isn't everything when it comes to crime.
Well, or at least when it comes to the good name of the label. Because you also have to...
You don't want to sully the name of your label.
Yeah, and 𝗙𝗥𝗢𝗠 Media is part of Sony Music, so...
Very prestigious.
Yeah, so there is your name and your reputation at play as well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I was just shocked with this whole story. And I don't think you should shit on the label for signing them, because you have to understand that not everybody is well versed in what's going on,
especially with a band like Vektor.
Exactly, but I think that there should be departments within the labels that do this kind of check before you sign any band whatsoever.
This doesn't just go for 𝗙𝗥𝗢𝗠 Media. This goes for any label.
Actually, I would push this even further. I think this should even go into festivals. I see so much shit over the past couple of years.
Yeah, where festivals
brought in or announced that they were bringing in a band. Then people discover that the band are a bunch of neo-Nazis. Now you're kicking off the band of the festival, not because you want to kick off the band maybe, but because other bands are saying, well, I'm not going to play with those guys.
Exactly. It doesn't do good for you, nor does it do good for the band.
This is a no-win situation. I just feel like you have to do... and this is not about cancel culture. Like, don't give me that bullshit. I mean, we're talking about some serious shit right now. This has nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying that if you... It comes down to what do you want, or who you want representing who you are. If you are okay with having rapists, pedophiles, Nazis, criminals in general, depending on... Okay, now we can discuss the level of criminality. On your label or on your festival, okay, then it's on you. My mother used to say, I'll judge you by the friends that you keep, right? So it's kind of that way, right? And if you don't want, then you have a department that handles these situations and avoids all of this fucking headaches and nonsense.
Exactly. And
I thought overall, signing the band and then 2 days later releasing the band, this has got to be one of the funniest shits that ever happened ever.
Exactly.
I've never heard of this.
For a fact, in The Office, it was like one of those movies where like the fucking stocks went down and everyone's freaking out. Like, for a fact...
That's not where I went. You know where I went?
What?
The guys from Vektor at a bar buying rounds for everybody.
Because
we just got signed. We got some money and whatever.
And then they see it, and then one of them gets a notification.
And then 2 days later, it's like, yeah, we're done, folks. So who's going to pay that bar bill? Well, definitely. I guess you're going to have to pay that bar bill. Yeah. So it is what it is.
It is what it is. This whole thing is just, it is what it is type.
But it's funny though.
It is very funny to look at. Definitely not for the band nor the label, but it's very funny from an outside source.
One last thing. What do you think about the label posting it on Instagram and Facebook and then not allowing people to comment? I think it's a good move, because what good comes from it?
Exactly. Because
people are just going to shit all over them.
They're going to shit all over the band and shit all over the label. And obviously...
What are you going to gain from letting people comment?
You're not going to gain shit. And to be honest, the people who do comic bad things about your label on the comment section, they just don't know better. Because technically you did your time. Yes, you
I know, but these days we're living in a time where everybody just likes to shit on everybody else because that's how you earn brownie points.
But I bet you half of the people that's shitting on them now also didn't know about the fucking thing and only found out recently.
Because somebody else commented on another
Exactly, video. And now they're in the same, like, they were in the same boat, but now they know.
I'm honest, I didn't know about it.
Yeah, I wish people could be more honest.
I'm not, I didn't know. I found out about this, like, the way probably some other people did. So
exactly.
It is what it is. I don't mind that people are saying, where's my freedom of... I mean, you have freedom of speech, but it's their Instagram page and it's their Facebook page. If they don't want you to comment, they don't want you to comment. I mean, I have freedom of speech. That doesn't mean I can go into your house and tell you what to do.
Exactly. They posted it for you
to be aware that this is what we're doing, and that's it. There's no... this is not a dialogue.
When you buy a magazine and you see the pictures in the articles, are you allowed to comment on those? No, because you have a physical copy of media. Like, it doesn't allow you to do that. Does that fringe on your human rights, on your freedom of speech? No.
This is funny shit. I mean, not the crime. I'm talking about the whole signing in and out kind of bullshit. Yeah. All right, guys, let us know your thoughts on Vektor, on this in and out situation with 𝗙𝗥𝗢𝗠 Media. Use the comment section below and let us know where you at on all of this disaster that happened last week.
Did you even know this happened?
Some people probably didn't know that it happened, and some people probably didn't know that Vektor was involved in this.
Some people probably didn't even know Vektor was a band.
That is true.
That was me.
They thought it was just like a mathematical thing.
No, it was the guy from Despicable Me 1.
We've done Vektor on the channel, You should know who Vektor is.
Oh, we did Vektor on the channel.
Well, maybe now it's time for me to remove those videos.
Yeah, it was also probably not that. It
was a long time ago, but it was what it was.
It was a long time ago, and that's probably why I don't remember.
It wasn't memorable?
It probably wasn't memorable.
Okay, fair enough.
So there you go.
There you go. Nobody lost anything on this. Nobody's losing anything on... Well, Vektor. They're losing a lot.
Yeah.
Anyhow, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comment section. We'll see you guys at the next video.
See ya.